Hey everyone, Chris here. So today I'm making the third video, and I'm not sure what it's going to be about yet. I wanted to make another video. I felt like the last two were a good start, and I don't know. I feel like there's so much that I want to talk about, and I don't know that I necessarily need a plan for what I'm going to talk about in each video. I think if I kind of just let things flow and just trust trust that God will lead me, that I'll talk about things that are worth talking about, because yeah, he put the words in me, um, and anyway, so this time there isn't really a plan. I guess I'll give it a label and a description after it's done. Um, so I don't know. So I guess maybe what occurs to me for now is to talk a little bit more about um, kind of that initial experience that I had. Maybe people have more questions about like what that experience was like. Um, and so just sort of like you know some things that stuck out to me as incredible, and anyway. Um, so all right. So one thing that I feel like I should point out is that when I talk about God speaking to me, and he said, but the thing is, he didn't really speak with words. It was like, it's not like he had like, it was like just thoughts, like it was an incredible thing in that I would think a question, and as soon as I thought the question, God would answer it. It was like I would have my thoughts that would, a question would form in my mind. Like, for example, at one point I thought to myself, I thought, God, God, why, he was explaining that there was going to be all this tribulation, and there was going to be all this trouble and suffering and all this stuff. And I thought, God, why can't you just fix it? You're obviously super powerful. Why can't you just fix all of this? Why do we have to go through the suffering? And that as that thought occurred to me, he immediately started answering um, with more thoughts. And like the first thought, he kind of answered that question in two parts. Um, he said, all right, well, first off, listen, he said, it's extremely complicated to create a world like yours. Okay, he said there are things about creating your world that are so complicated that you can't even fathom it. Like you don't like you. He said you don't have the ability to understand everything that goes into the world you live in. Like there are just things about your world that you don't understand. And so he said, so part of it, part of my answer to your question is it's complicated, and you're not going to fully understand it. Okay, like trust me, it's super complicated, and it's more complicated than you can understand. But he said, you know, a part like one way for you to kind of understand it is to realize that the devil is real. Satan is a real, extremely powerful being who is on earth. And he said, and he infects you humans. He has infected all of you like a virus, like a disease. He is he has infected the world in my creation. And he said, and I could, yes, I could just destroy everything, and that would get rid of the devil, and that would destroy him. But he said, but that would also destroy you. It's like Jesus said, the wheat and the tares. The master tells his servants not to go uproot the weeds, um, because it would also uproot the wheat. And he says, let them grow together, and then when they're mature, we'll separate them out. And so, kind of likewise, God said to me that it's a process that you guys have to go through, and when you and when you have grown out of it, then the evil and the good can be separated. But he said, so that was sort of a major thing for me, a major realization for me, was that the devil is very real. And maybe a lot of believers, that's like, something they've known all along. But for me, um, it was just something, you know I didn't think of it that way. I didn't realize that way. I didn't think of the devil as being a real thing. But he made it clear to me that no, the devil is very real, and he rules this realm. The devil rules this realm that we live in. Um, and he then went on to point out a lot of evidence about, yeah, this, that you live, I mean, you live in a world ruled by the devil. And now looking around at society and at a lot of things, it's become clear that, yeah, we're, you know this is not the kingdom of heaven yet. This is the kingdom of Satan that we live in. And but luckily for us, we live in a time when we're going to get to see the kingdom of heaven. I mean, obviously every one of God's servants gets to see the kingdom of heaven someday, but we are going to see the kingdom of heaven come on earth. And that's an incredible time to live in. I think we should all be really excited. I think, like, it's super exciting. I think we're all going to go through a lot of times soon where it's not going to be exciting, where we're going to be going, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be for us, because, and this is something that I'll probably want to talk about maybe in the next video, but, you know, I think I think there is going to be an outpouring of the Spirit of the Lord on the earth and on His servants. And I think for many of us, we're going to hear His voice like we never have before. And maybe for us, it'll just be exciting. But I think there may be some struggles. We're probably going to we're definitely going to see a lot that makes our 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 hearts hurt. That makes us want to, we're going to see a lot of bad things happening. And there already are a lot of bad things happening. You know, there are a lot of bad things going on in the world. And, and I think that the world's going to continue to be a darker place for a period, I guess the serpent being thrown down onto the earth. If we remember Revelations, there is that part, about the serpent being cast down out of the heavens onto the earth, and he knows that his time is short, and so he makes war on the nations. I think, I don't actually have my Bible in front of me, so I'm just trying to kind of paraphrase what I remember. But so I think that there will be a lot of troubling events that we will see, and that there will be struggles. And also, for those of us who aren't fully, prepared, I think, a part of this is also going to be a purifying fire. That's what struggle is. That's what, the Lord purifies our hearts in trials. And so there may be some trials for some of us, and I think maybe that'll be what the next video is that I talk about, is a little bit more about what he said, somewhat of what we could expect, and things like that. So, okay, this is a good stopping point for this video, and I'm going to start the next one right now.